I saw him on a sleepless night. I was walking desperately to save my soul and vision. My coming to New York had been a mistake. Where I have looked for poignant wonder and inspiration in the teeming labyrinth from the ancient street. In the cyclopean modern towers and pinnacles that rise blackly Babylonian under waning towers, and pinnacles instead only a sense of horror and oppression which threatened them to master, paralyze and annihilate me.
The dissolution had been gradual. Coming for first time upon the town, I had seen its sunset from a bridge, majestic above its waters, its incredible peaks and pyramids rising flower-like and delicate from pools of violet mist to play with the flaming of the first stars of evening. When it had lighted up, window by window above the shimmering where lanterns nodded and glided and deep horns bayed weird harmonies, and one of the marbles Cascorcone and Sarah Markand El Dorado and glorious and half bolded cities.
Fancy narrow, curving alleys, and passage where rows of red Georgian brick blink with small paint dormers above pillared doorways that have looked on glided sedans, and paneled couches, and in the first flush of realization of these long-wished things, I thought I had indeed achieved such treasure as would make me in poet.
But success and happiness were not to be. Gary showed only square and nauseous elephantiasis of climbing, spreading stone where the moon had hinted of love lines and elder magic, and the truth of flame-like streets were swarthy strangers with hardened face and narrowed eyes, shrewd strangers without dreams and without kinship to the scenes about them. Who could know never a man act to a blue-eyed man of the old folk, with the love of the fair green lines and with the New England village established in his heart?
So insisted poems, I had hoped for there come only shocking blackness and infallible loneliness, and I saw at last unwhisperable secret of secret, the fact that this city of stone and strider is not a sentient perpetuation of old New York as London is of old London and Paris of old Paris, but that is in fact quite dead, its prowling body imperfectly emblemed and infested with queer animate things which have nothing to do with it as it was in life. Upon making this discovery, I cased to sleep comfortably. Thought something of resignated tranquility came as I gradually formed that habit of keeping of the secret by day and venturing abroad only at night when darkness called forth while little of the past still hovers wraith like about an old white doorway. Remember that stalwart forms that once passed through them. With this mode of relief I even wrote a few poems, and still refrained from going home to my people lest I seem to crawl back ignorable in defeat.
Then, on a stepless night's walk, I met the man. It was in a gross-gate hiding courtyard of the Greenwich section, for there in my ignorance I had settled, having heard of the place as the natural home of poet and artist. The arcade lanes, one houses, and unexpected bits of the square and car had indeed delighted me. And when I found the poets and artists to be loud-voiced pretenders whose quaintness is time and whose lives are tiny of all the beauty which is poetry and art, I stayed one for love these burnout things. I fancied them as they were in their prime. When in the hours before dawn, when all the revelers had slunk away, I used to wander along their cryptical widenings and brood upon the curious arcana which generations must have deposited there. This kept my soul alive and gave me a few of those dreams and visions for which the poet far within me cried out.
A man came upon me at about 2 one cloudy August morning. I was training a series of detached courtyards, now accessible only through the unlit hallways of intervening buildings, but once forming parts of a continuous network of picturesque alleys. I had heard of them by vague rumor and realized that they could not be upon any map of today. But the fact that they were forgotten only endeared them to me, so that I had sought them with twice my usual eagerness. Now that I had found them, my eagerness was redoubled, for something in their arrangement dimly hinted that they might be only a few of many such, with dark, dumb counterparts which obstructly betwixt high blank walls and deserted rear tenements, or lurking lamply behind archways unbrightened by hordes of foreign speaking, or guarded by furtive and uncommunicative artists whose practice do not invite publicity or the light of the day.
He spoke to me without invitation, noting my mood and glances as I studied certain knockered doorways above iron railed steps. The pale glow of train-serried crimsons feebly lighting in my face. His own face was in shadow, and he wore a white brimmed hat which somehow blended perfectly with the out-of-date cloak he affected. But it was subtly disquiet, even before he addressed me. His form was very slight, thin, almost cadaverousness, and his voice proved phenomenally soft and hollow, though not particularly deep. He had, he said, noticed several times at my wanderings, and inferred that I resembled him in loving the vestiges of former years. Would I not like the giddiness of one long practiced in these explorations and posts of local information profoundly deeper than any which an obvious newcomer could possibly have gained?
As I spoke, I caught a glimpse of his face in the yellow beam from a solitary attic window. It was a noble, even handsome, elderly countenance, and bore the marks of a lineage and refinement unusually from the age and place. Yet some quality about it disturbed me almost as much as its features pleased me. For perhaps it was too white or too expressionless or too much out of keeping with the loyalty to days my quest for antique beauty and mystery was all that I need to keep my soul alive. And I recognized it a rare favor of fate to fall in with one whose kindred seeking seemed to have penetrated so much farther than mine.